Let's take a look at the oil chart here. Now, like I said, the advantage we have over our trading opponents every day in crude oil is one of my top setups in the room that a lot of you are taking advantage of. In fact, congratulations, we had 17 members yesterday. 17 members yesterday took advantage of the breakout or breakdown yesterday that we all gave a heads up on. I gave you a heads up on that big short. And congratulations, a lot of you guys and gals did between 55 to as high as 63 ticks. And so good job. And a lot of you took that live. So nice job on that yesterday. Thanks for the charts. Just keep the momentum going. It's a really nice setup that I'm going to show you again. Same setup happened this morning. The beautiful thing about this is we know the inside of the crude oil market. We know what the institutions, where their levels are, where they're trading at, and we want to play off those levels. We don't care where the public's at. The public's 90% wrong at all times in the market. It's just how they are, only because they use lagging indicators, moving average crossovers, MAC, etc., etc., etc. If you're using a moving average convergence divergence or an RSI or etc., you're way behind the ball game and you're not trading with the institutions. Moving average crossover systems, they just don't work, the bottom line. So what we need to know is we need to know the inside of the market. We need to know exactly where the institutional order flow is. And that's categorized by the 5-minute chart over here. The 5-minute chart, these big red lines are going to tell us where the rolling pivots are in the market. And most importantly is my unique market profile. I'm the only trading room in the world that has this type of market profile because I programmed it by the originator of market profile. He was a CBOT trader from 69 to 1985. I programmed it off his techniques, and I took my own spin with it and took it from a 30-minute chart like everybody else uses down into a 5-minute projection on order flow. So we know every second to second to second to second where the institutional order flow is at any given point in time. What that allows us to do, it allows us to play off of institutional order flow. And how do we do that? Well, when you come up to these red dots or down to these green dots, this is low value area, LVA. The high value area is categorized by the red dots. It lets us know that's where the institutional order flow is. Order flow on high value area will just be just above it where all the stops are, and all the stops will just be below all the green dots, okay, the institutional order flow. So when we reach these levels this morning, we reached the HVA or high value area. We know that's where the institutional order flow, these billion-dollar hedge funds, banks, etc., have all this order flow right here at 87. So we know that if we exceed 87, then we need to look for a breakout for continuation. That's how we did yesterday, the day before, 3 for 3 yesterday, 2 for 2 the day before, and for these big hits. Now, these runs are an average of 40 to 60 ticks. That's $400 to $600 per contract with a $100 risk. So you got a 4 to 6 to 1 reward to risk ratio on these trades. So how do we enter though? We just can't enter off a 5-minute break, right? We got to enter off my symmetry dots. And my symmetry dots, just like we did yesterday, the day before, we've been doing this for 2 years in the room off my symmetry dots and order flow. A lot of you are picking this up. Is we use these symmetry dots. The red symmetry dots are resistance. The blue symmetry dots are support. So what you have to do when you reach order flow here at the red dots, the trend has to be up, by the way. 5-minute trend has to be up. 2-minute trend has to be up. You got to have the cross. Both have to be crossed in the same direction. You can have the 5-minute crossed up and the 2-minute crossed down. That's going to give you the opposite end of the trade. So once they're crossed up like that, what we're going to do once we reach that level, the best time is if you hit that level, retrace. Hit it again, retrace, third breakout, you're good to go. But you can even take the breakout if it hits the first or second time if you have strong momentum. I like when it tests, gets rejected, and comes back up to it. Well, the entry technique is going to be right here. The close above the symmetry dots. The order flow is right here. This is where all the stops were. Stops are resting all the way up here just above this order flow here. So that's major stops are right here. Major levels. Okay, so once we get through that, you can see they brought up, retested the stop level, and then they drilled it straight back up. So I know the order flow is big time up here, but the symmetry dot break was right here on HVA. HVA happened to be right exactly at my symmetry dots, right there. So that's where high value area is, the red dots. You look for 2/3 of a candle close above the symmetry dots. There's your 2/3 of a candle close. The fill was 91 long. 91 long was your fill. All right. Your natural progression is the second set of symmetry dots for your out, which is right here. Here's your natural area to get out, right at that level on the second set of symmetry dots. So not only the entry was 91, it got all the way up to 40, 50 tick run. with a 10-tick stop, you had a 5-to-1 reward to risk ratio. 5-to-1 reward to risk. That's a beautiful thing about this setup. Not only do we know where the order flow is, but the reward to risk is an average of 4 to 6. So an average of 5-to-1 reward to risk on this trade setup. We got the one for 60. We got the one for 40. We had about a 10-minute heads up yesterday that I talked about. I talked about the day before. We had about a 10-minute heads up on that one. Had a huge breakdown there. Huge breakdown yesterday also. And then today we kept talking about this level, is that if you got in, that we had to swing high up here, you want to scale early, and that would be a breakout at that level. So you just got to make sure you look at the symmetry dots. It's the easiest way to do it when you're on HV and LVA with trend. That's the easiest way to do it. If you have a flat MA, okay, flat MA, I mean the MAs are just really together on the 2-minute and 5-minute, it's not as powerful. So if the MAs are strong together, you're good to go. All right, guys, let's do the update here, the second update. The first trade setup we came in today was market order flow. We had the HVA high value area at this level. High value was right at this level. That's where the order flow is. So we're looking for a symmetry dot breakout, and the symmetry dot 2/3 of a candle close was right there. That's our entry technique. We had 3 for 3 yesterday, 2 for 2 the day before, just like that. If it's at HVA, the red dots, or if it's at LVA, the green dots with trend, 5-minute, 2-minute trend, that's your overall breakout. That was followed by the overall 2-minute structure trade, 2-minute first test of the magenta, one of my top setups in the trading room, was on support, on symmetry dot support with overall buy divergence. So we had a breakout here, and then we got rolling. Okay, once we got rolling at this level, okay, it hit the second set of symmetry dots. That was our natural target. First set of symmetries here, second set of symmetries here. That's our natural target for the breakout trade. So big, giant 50-tick trade from the get-go. Then what we get is we get a higher probability trade here. I said at this level, when we're trading at 93.40 this morning, I'm looking for a 93 retest. 93 retest had lots of confluence. So I said I want a 40-tick retracement. And once I see a 40-tick retracement, I want to look at buying at the previous high of day. We want to take a first test of the previous high of day buy. Consequently, at the same time, I had the same trade setup I had this morning. A 2-minute magenta first retest after spread. The key with the 2-minute magenta first retest, you must have spread. Spread is key. Spread equals bread, we say in the room. If you got spread, you come down to the magenta for the first test for continuation, hit that at the exact same level. Then we had the LVA first retest. Market order flow had green dots right over top of LVA at 93. Then we had the red dots, HVA on the QMs right at 93 also. So 3 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times confluence at L3 also. 5 times confluence. It hit exactly where we want a continuation, and we got another big move to the upside. Then I said when we're up here, I said look for a failure trade. We're up at the 93.30-35 level. I said look for a failure at the previous high of day. Keep an eye on it. What happened is our 2-minute chart had a third test breakdown. Third test breakdown at the magenta moving average. 2 trades you look for a breakdown right here at the symmetry dots. 2/3 candle close. There's your sell. Some of you traders got on that short in the room. Good job. Okay. Then we come into an extension with trend on support. That's a key word. On support, key word. So here's your extension with trend. Dots fired off. Okay, we had triple buy divergence, best divergence gap in the market. Had a hard, nice push up, come into an M top. Then I said at this level, we're going to look for a continuation short because I got nothing below me. This was the last level of support. I said this is the last level of support. Nothing below me. If it breaks through the symmetry dots, we're going southbound on the Greyhound. Sure enough, 2/3 candle close. A lot of you traders finished up the day. 2/3 candle symmetry dot close. Look at this. See ya. Look at that trade setup. All the way straight down. We ignore all the dots. Remember, we ignore the dots after we break down where there's no support. We do not take these dots at all. We look for a continuation all the way down to symmetry. Ends up the week to be one hell of a week. All right? Every single method worked great. We got to be patient and look for our ticks. When we can, when the setup comes up, put your ATM strat in and go to work. All right, guys and gals, that'll do it. Have a great weekend.